After what I saw on the last tape, I couldn't stop thinking about it. My parents' house had always been normal, or at least I had thought so. But now every corner felt wrong. Every shadow seemed to move just slightly when I wasn't looking. I couldn't bring myself to throw the tapes away, and I couldn't stop watching them either. It was like my life had been paused, captured by eyes that weren't mine. I went back to the box and started checking the older tapes, the ones from when I was little, when I could barely walk. My heart sank immediately. Something was different. On some of the tapes, there was a figure behind me. I didn't notice it at first. It was always in the corner, standing still, perfectly still, but somehow always in the frame. I fast-forwarded, rewound, checked angles, paused, zoomed. It wasn't my imagination. It wasn't a trick of the light. There was someone in the room, someone watching me sleep. I tried to tell myself it was a reflection, a shadow from the camera itself, maybe the shape of the furniture catching the light. But it wasn't. On every tape, no matter the year, the figure changed position. Sometimes it was closer to the bed, sometimes at the foot, sometimes peeking from the doorway. Always silent, always watching. The older the tapes, the clearer it became. It wasn't a shadow. It wasn't just someone standing there. It was intentional. I realized with a cold pit in my stomach that the figure wasn't in the room during the day. Or at least it didn't exist when anyone else was awake. I checked the tapes from the nights my parents were still alive. Same thing. The figure was always there. It never interacted with anyone, never moved, except to shift slightly when I turned in my sleep. Always watching, always observing, like it had a purpose I couldn't understand. I began to notice patterns. The figure never blinked. It didn't breathe visibly. Its head tilted slightly at times, like it was studying me. Sometimes it seemed almost human, but the proportions were wrong. Too tall, too thin. Fingers that extended longer than they should. Eyes that reflected nothing. One tape, the one from my 10th birthday, showed it standing at the door while I slept, and in the reflection of the mirror across the room, I swear I saw it smiling. A slow, deliberate, human smile. I almost threw up. I had to stop, but I couldn't. Each tape revealed more. Dates, times, sequences. The same figure appeared every night. Every single night, watching us, watching me, watching my siblings. Always there, as if it had been there since the house was built. And then I found the tape that broke me. A tape my mother had recorded, but never labeled properly. The date was years before I was born. I pressed play with trembling hands. The screen flickered, and there it was. Not a child, not a parent, just the figure in the corner of a dark room. I couldn't make out the details. The timestamp read 2:46 a.m. The figure didn't move. The camera shifted slightly, but the figure stayed exactly in the same place. And then I saw it. Its eyes, wide open, staring directly into the lens. I realized it wasn't just watching us. It was documenting us, recording us the same way we were recording ourselves now. That was when I noticed the notebook lying on a small table beside the bed. The camera captured it perfectly. My parents' handwriting was on the cover, but the entries inside weren't their handwriting. They were mine. I flipped through the pages, reading entries I didn't remember writing, descriptions of dreams, feelings, moments from my own childhood, every detail, every fear, every secret I thought only I knew, written down by me or someone controlling me. My hand shook, my breath quickened, and then the camera caught movement. The figure leaned closer, almost touching the notebook. Its long fingers hovered above the page. It moved in slow, deliberate gestures, as if confirming, marking, recording. I froze. I couldn't look away. On the tape, it reached toward the camera, and I felt it. A cold, wet brush across my wrist, as if it had reached through the years to touch me. I dropped the VCR remote. My heart slammed. My hands fumbled for the lights. I flicked them on, and for a brief moment, everything seemed normal. But then I noticed a reflection in the black screen of the TV. A figure, tall, thin, standing in the corner of the room, perfectly still, staring at me. My apartment was empty. I lived alone. I had never invited anyone here. I screamed. Didn't move. It didn't blink. It just stayed there, waiting. And then the realization hit me. The figure wasn't watching me in the tapes anymore. It was watching me through them. It had always been watching, always present, always waiting. And now I understood why my parents never appeared on the recordings. They were never supposed to. The figure didn't care about them. It only cared about me. I grabbed the box of tapes, intending to destroy them, burn them, throw them in the river, anything. But even as I carried them to the fire pit outside, I felt the weight of the eyes behind me. The figure didn't leave. It followed me, always just out of the corner of my vision. That night, I tried to sleep in the guest room, as far from the boxes as I could get. I covered my head with a blanket, heart racing, willing myself to ignore the faint creaks and taps from the hall. And then I heard it. A whisper, low, almost casual. My name, drawn out, familiar, but not my mother's, not my father's. I froze. My pulse thundered. The whisper repeated, softer this time, almost teasing. Don't stop recording. I bolted from the room, grabbed the tapes, and threw them all into the fire. The flames swallowed them. The plastic melted. The smell of burning tape thickened my lungs. I expected it to end there, but it didn't. Every night since, when I close my eyes, I see it again, in the corner, watching, waiting. I have no idea who it is, or what it wants. All I know is that it never leaves. And now, I record my nights too, just like my parents did, hoping somehow, I might understand what it wants. But sometimes, just sometimes, I hear it whisper again, close to my ear. You're next.